Okay, y'all, so let's pick up where we left off. Hi. I kind of like how my voice sounds, so I'm trying to make as many videos sounding somewhat kind of hoarse. Um, really silly thing. Growing up as a kid, I always liked how people's voice sounded when they were like hoarse. I like how this sounds. And this like never happened to me. Okay? Never. It would happen to my sister all the time. It happened to all these other people that I knew. I love that like crack that you get sometimes. Like, I don't know. I really like and enjoy deep voices. Deep. So corny. Anyway, I also would like to get another thing out of the way that I know that once this video blows up and the other one, people are going to say, as a single mom, and as a person that is hyper vigilant, who is always putting everybody else before myself, just neglecting myself all the time, I am literally falling apart. Like, I'm starting to build myself back together, but like body has literally been falling apart. So yes, I have teeth that are chipped, yellow. Like, smoking is one way to cope with everything that's going on, and not even just cope. I don't want to put it like that. No, I smoke because it genuinely helps me to connect better with the Most High, with Source. It helps me to be the calm, chill, present parent that I want to be. It helps me to just open my mind creatively. It helps to ground me. Okay, it is medicine. The same way that y'all will be quick to slide a mom's Xanax, like, I would rather just hit the bong. Okay, so with that being said, let's get back into the story. I feel like where I left off was that I had gotten Han into ABA therapy because he is level 3 on the spectrum, autistic, all the things. I don't know. I'm not trying to be politically correct in this video. I just want to be clear. I am just going to be really real and raw with y'all about this story because I feel like this is needed for people in our community, and that is the whole purpose of this podcast that I'm trying to create here. And this community that I'm trying to create, where we can all be just open and honest with each other and help one another heal, because honesty and transparency and authenticity is how we're all going to heal. Okay, so Han's on the spectrum. So I want to back up a little bit because he started ABA therapy the day I gave birth to Ronan. I gave birth to Ronan October 28th, 2024. Okay. Now, as I was saying, I had a whole plan, right? I was in love with the whole tiny house idea, like, and not even just the tiny houses, but like building your home on a school bus and it being off grid, and like you can just be completely independent. I feel like in another life, or like just my ancestry, like my mom's side of the family are West Indian from the Caribbean. I feel like I give gypsy vibes. Like, I'm supposed to be on a boat. I'm supposed to be on something moving. I'm supposed to be constantly, out here, sharing my gift and helping people no matter where I go. That's where I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. And so we have the internet now where I can stay where I'm at and share my gift. And so, but I have children, and so that's why I wanted the school bus. I'm like, okay, that would be very cool to live on a school bus and be able to take them around the world and like introduce them to other cultures and other people. And especially because I have sons, I want my sons to be conscious. I want them to live Christ consciousness and embody it, who Christ was, and that they need to be balanced, have a balance of masculine and feminine, be free to be creative, free to express themselves, free to be soft and hard, you know what I'm saying? And know that they're supposed to be a balance of the two, and not hide their feminine side because they're in a masculine body. Okay, so I want all that to be kept in mind. So when it comes to Ronan, basically, I've known his dad since I was 18. Okay, this is the main person that I have had adult relations with consistently since I was 18 years old. The bond is strong. And not only that, but like, I like him as a person and enjoy his company. So there was drama, okay? And some of that drama was Malachi having a stroke. Yeah. So his son gets in a car accident, and I feel like in March or April of 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yes, sorry. 2023. Yeah, because I was already pregnant with Ronan by now. Now, I got pregnant with Ronan because, honestly, we went to go visit his dad, and we really didn't talk to him like that or see him that much because he was claiming he always had to work and he was busy, I was dealing with that. If you know, you know. So, and then he would get in petty arguments with me about stuff. If I ever asked him for anything, very minimally, like, I was struggling at the time because, like I said, he ended up having autism, so I had to quit my job. I couldn't keep working at Walmart because he was too much for my mom. It was just unexpected for him to have autism. And so it forced me to have to be a stay-at-home mom. And I don't say that in a way that I'm upset about it or it bothers me. He is amazing because he's extremely, extremely smart. Okay. Before he even started developmental therapy, Han already knew his numbers up to 20. He knew all the colors of the rainbow. He knew his letters, upper and lowercase, by sight. He knew shapes, like the main, I want to say basic 10 shapes. And then one other thing that I cannot think of right now. But he knew a lot of basics. And so he just wasn't starting to formulate sentences like he was supposed to. And he had some sensory things going on. He didn't like the textures of certain things. He, a lot of the times, needed to get, sensory input. So, he would run into things, into the couch to get that, feeling of sensory input. And he didn't like being away from me. And that was the main thing. I am his main regulator, main source of regulation. And so he needs to be with me all the time, which is totally fine. I love being around him. Does it get stressful sometimes? Yes, it does. Does it get overwhelming sometimes? Yes, it does. But at the same time, I want to be a parent. I wanted this job. And I understand that there's a lot of women in this world that would love to be a parent and love the opportunity and the gift it is to bear children. And I'm making all these videos to let y'all know that this job is hard as fuck. And please do not sign up for it unless you genuinely and truly want to do it. Because I'm telling you, I cry a lot. And I have cried. I don't think I've cried so much in my life. Except in the last 4 years. I've cried so much. But I've released so much. I've learned so much. I've grown so much. I've expanded so much. And I've truly become the person that I genuinely always wanted to be. And so I'm not upset or angry about any of the things that have happened to me. The crying more so comes from just not being aligned with my environment anymore, and knowing that I have all these plans and all these things that I want to do, like the home that I want to create for them and the lifestyle that I want to create for them, and just trying to do the best I can in the situation that we're in. And I will get to that in a second. So, like I was saying, I chose to live with my parents and have children while I was living with them, because my parents have always been the type that, growing up, my friends always loved to come over here. My parents were always, super nice to everybody. Everybody felt like my parents were always very supportive, very loving. And to a certain extent, they are, right? But not in the sense that I feel like people truly understand what that means. My parents allow me to live with them, and I don't have to pay rent. But I do everything myself. I primarily take care of my children myself. They can clock in and clock out whenever they want to. It's just fair. This is not me complaining. and I hope, please don't let anybody complain, but I don't want people to think that because I live with my parents that I'm getting all this help. No, I'm the one primarily changing their diapers. And that's mainly because my parents know that I want to change their diapers because I know I'm going to be thorough and I'm going to clean it properly. I want them with me all the time. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with it. But because of the environment that we're living in, though, and the fact that they're getting bigger, they have different needs now. And so, and not even just do they have different needs, but because Han has autism, for example, I don't think he should be eating stuff that's got a bunch of preservatives and stuff in it, right? Because there is the information now that says that kids on the spectrum, they have a sensitive gut, right? And so what you feed them matters, and trying to allow him to eat as clean as possible will help him to not get constipated, because he gets constipated often. And this really bothers my mom because he'll be in pain. It's uncomfortable. And I have told her multiple times, we've talked about this I feel like it's been 2 years now, about he shouldn't eat certain things. My mother eats what she likes to eat, and she has every right to eat what she wants to eat because this is her house. And I have every right to want my child to only eat certain things. And so now it's become, we're clashing because I can't force her to not eat what she wants. You know what I'm saying? But we also can't really help him from seeing her eating it, or we can, but it's like I'm constantly having to try to maybe put them in my room and police them and run after them all the time, until recently I just released and stopped doing all of that because it wasn't serving me or them for us to be doing all of that. I needed to surrender and start living the way that I know I want to live when I get out of here. And I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be chasing after them all the time. The house that I plan to have, they going to be able to just roam freely and play. I'm going to be able to go take a shower, and no, I don't have to worry about them because my house is going to be kid friendly. You know what I'm saying? The whole environment that we're going to be in is going to be built for them, not for me. Now, my bedroom, that's going to be my sanctuary. There's going to be my space. That part of the house will be all about me. They're not even going to be allowed in there. But I'm going to co-sleep with them in their room. And I'm going to make sure they have a big enough bed for us all to sleep together, because we co-sleep right now. Like, that's where my mind is at. And so when I think about, like, going back to, y'all, listen, I'm going to go all over the place, but I promise you everything connects. So going back to what I was talking about initially. So Malachi ends up having a stroke while I was pregnant with Ronan. And it's really wild to think about, because so many things happen in such a, quick amount of time. No, I was not pregnant with Ronan yet. Oh my gosh, no. A whole year goes by. No. I knew I had to catch myself, because I was like, that doesn't sound right. I was not pregnant when Malachi had a stroke. Okay. Yeah, at the time, I was not talking to Han's father. What are we going to call him? I need to call him something. What do I want to call him? Ghost Rider. Okay, so Ghost Rider, right? Ghost Rider, he and I were not speaking at the time. And I honestly, y'all, it's not even really important as to why we were not talking. I promise y'all it wasn't. I promise y'all it is not important why we were not speaking to each other, because like I've already told y'all from the beginning, I already knew he had a lot of things going on. I knew exactly who I was having my children with. Y'all, none of his behavior was a shock to me. And actually, I want to get into that really quick. And this is partly why I was making these videos, because a lot of the things that we're doing in our community, we're doing based off of wanting validation and wanting to be loved. And I want to be very clear with y'all. Every single thing that I have ever done has been done because I wanted to do it. I have never put myself in a position or in a situation where I allowed a man to lead me. I'm going to repeat that. I have never put myself in a position, relationship and romantic wise, y'all, okay, where I allowed a man to lead me. I was always in control. They can think that they were if they want to, but I really want them to think about it. My first boyfriend changed that man's whole life. changed his whole swag, changed how the way he dressed, where he got a job, the fact that he ran for Kappa League, the fact that he started taking school seriously, where he went to school. I influenced all of that. I promise you, if you fuck with me, I'm going to leave you better than the way you came. I promise. Every time. So, and I'm not even trying to brag or anything. That's just on, I'm a loving person and I'm going to trigger you, or I'm going to, you know, or are we going to be able to figure out that we're aligned and we're going to grow together? It's one of the two. But you're going to grow no matter what. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. I promise. So with Mr. Ghostwriter, you know, I knew I was going to have a child with this man. And having another child with him just made it even better because Ronan, I'm telling you, man, the boy is such a loving creature. And he's so much like me, it's not even funny. So with him, though, I want to really say this to make this very clear. I wanted to have children. It didn't have anything to do with him. And I need for us as women to start taking our power back and start realizing that, like, when it comes to being a parent, it primarily is our responsibility. And that we need to create a community around us of other women and then of men who we feel are good role models for our children. I don't need to be with their dad in order for my children to be successful. I need to have good male role models around my children and around my sons. That's it. They don't literally have to have their dad in their life. So I just want y'all to know that. Whether I get married to somebody or not, like, I'm not even concerned with that. That's not even my concern. And that's another problem for a lot of y'all. Moms, single women, y'all need to stop worrying about, like, when you're going to get a man. Focus on your kids. Focus on taking care of them. And you have the whole rest of your life to have a man, I promise, or a woman, or whoever you end up with. But, like, that should be in the back of your mind and be the last thing that you're worried about is, like, how when you going to get laid. Like, lay yourself down and, like, please reflect on why you're so pressed. Because I'm just tired. I'm so tired of seeing women center men and not themselves. It's wild. And then don't make you a single mom. And I'm trying to tell y'all, ladies, the main reason that you keep attracting these men, it's because you're neglecting your son. You are creating what you're attracting. You are creating what you are attracting. It's becoming cyclical. Their mommies didn't prioritize them. She prioritized dick. And now you're wondering why these men don't trust us. Why they looking at us like, oh, you just have your hand out. Because most of y'all have your hand out. Which is wild to me because, like, we're the smarter, more creative gender. Baby girl. Society really was built for us. It was never built for them. The way that it is now, it's really built more for a woman's brain and how women function. Like, women are communal. Women are able to sit still and get an education, like, multifaceted. Men are singular focused. Very smart, y'all. Not trying to say y'all are not smart, but men, y'all do very well when you get a particular task and then you master that. And then y'all become amazing masters at that particular thing. Women can be masters at multiple things. And it's not a slight. It's more so, that's why there's more of us than there are of y'all. That we're all supposed to be working together and y'all are supposed to be helping us. So, went on all that little tangent. Yeah. But, so Malachi had a stroke in 2023. May of 2023. Yeah. Don't know. They still can't tell us to this day where it came from, how it happened. He was in the 5th grade at school. I got a phone call that he just passed out He got hit by a ball, which had nothing to do with anything. It hit him on the side. But just like a few seconds after that, he had a seizure, collapsed onto the ground, and they had the ambulance come. I met them at the hospital, and spent the entire summer in the hospital with him. And I was the one going up there. My mom was keeping Han for me. While I went up there every night and stayed with Malachi. Okay. Yeah, I was not about to let my baby stay in hospital by himself. And if there was a night I couldn't go, then somebody else would go for me. But for the most part, I was up there every night with him. Also because I had a healthcare background. So it made the most sense for me to be the one up there every day, because I would understand what they were talking about and what was going on. So long story short, he had narrow veins. They don't know if he was born that way or if it was a result of the stroke. But at the end of the day, I feel like what could have contributed to it is he wasn't eating healthy. And the world that we live in now, everything is so toxic. It's like there has to be a balance. And so that's something that has been important to me since then. But that happened to me in the last 4 years. So we have Han's autism diagnosis, and then Malachi having a stroke. So 2024, we're going to fast forward. Malachi had therapy that whole year after that, and still had to go back to school like a regular kid, which is go to school late. 6th grade, okay? Imagine your transition year. You have to go in with an IEP. You just had a stroke, but you still got to walk around campus. You still got to get around. You still got to, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to understand this. He had a stroke in May and was at school in August. Like nothing happened. Okay. Just want to put that out there. So all this time, during this time also, Han has developmental therapy and speech therapy. Okay. So it isn't until October of 2024 when he starts ABA therapy. And then speech therapy. He stops taking developmental therapy at that point. And I give birth to Ronan. And I got pregnant with Ronan because I saw their dad one day. He was being really cool, really nice, doing a great job with Han. I'm a woman with needs. And I happened to get pregnant. I did know I was ovulating at the time. I also don't see him very often. Didn't know when I was going to see him again. And so I took the risk. And I felt like from a spiritual and just higher self perspective, the timing, like I felt like, look, if I'm meant to have another child with him, then so be it. And I was meant to have another child with him. So yeah, I have no regrets. The thing about it is, like, there are other people around me who feel like this has made their lives harder, but me being around those people has been a benefit to them. I'm the main person doing the things that other people around me don't want to do. And still taking care of my kids. And still finding ways to hustle, to make money, little ways here and there. Or find ways to sign up for things. I get to get free diapers and to get free wipes. I have food stamps, so I get my own groceries. I find a way to get my own toiletries. I get the diapers for the baby and wipes for both of them. My parents do help me out by getting diapers for Han. That's the one thing consistently that they pay for. They do help me out when I run out of food stamps, and they will buy a few milks, a couple milks here and there. Like my mom buys clothes for him without me asking, okay, because she's a grandma. Grandmas usually buy stuff. So those are the things that I benefit from by living here with them. They've always paid my cell phone bill. So that hasn't changed. That was like, there's over the years, I've maybe given them $100 every now and then, but like they've paid my sister and I cell phone bills for our whole lives. And I just kind of feel like as parents, like, I don't think that that's a big deal. I would do that. I will do that for Malachi. Like, until he gets his own family and he wants to get his own plan, like, he and his brothers can stay on mine for the rest of their life for all I care. Add them. If my phone service will let me add their wives and their girlfriends or whoever want to get added, add them. That's how the type of mom, type of energy I'm trying to be on. I'm buying land so everybody can live on it. If you want to leave by, I'll help you. What you trying to leave in? That's the energy I'm on. Like, I don't want my children to ever feel like they have to leave me. So that's why I had my children living with my parents, because we've always talked about living together forever, you know, because they're getting older as well. Like, they knew I would be the one that would take care of them. And I would jokingly tell them that Han is so caring that I feel like he'll probably want to be a nurse, and that he's going to be the one that will live with them, and they will get to live in a house, but I'm going to put them in a little tiny house on my property far enough away from me, because my mom and I don't get along, so I don't need to see her. That's what Han is for. Han's going to be there to take care of her, so I don't got to live with her. You know, I'm thinking ahead, y'all. I'm thinking ahead. So, but the way she's been behaving since I've been living with her has made me not want to be around her, and has made me realize a lot of things about myself. It has shown me all the things that I don't want, and the life that I don't want to live, and the type of mother that I don't want to be. And constantly being pressed about money when they've gotten access to money, and honestly, they have more than enough money right now, or resources. Like, it's just wild. It's wild. They don't take care of the things that they have. Cars constantly falling apart. Okay, I need to move back to it. That was fine. So my situation is just very stressful, and now I'm trying to like pump out the content and just listen to the divine, because the Most High has been telling me, and my spirit team has been telling me to make content, to get out here, to share my story, to be authentic, to be myself, and be transparent, and to not overthink, and to stop just doing the most, because it's just, I don't know if it's necessarily been fear. Hold on. Okay. I don't necessarily know if it's been fear that prevents me from making stuff like this and just like sharing my story, or if it's that I know I'm about to sit up here and ramble like I'm doing right now, and that people are going to be like, where is she going with this? I can't keep up. I don't know. But this is just how my brain works, and I hope that y'all are able to like just go along on the ride with me, and take whatever is helpful to you and leave whatever you don't need. I want to be clear. It is not that I don't love my family. I do. But I realize that we are not aligned. We don't have the same goals. Okay, my goal is to live on a farm. Hold on a second, y'all. I mean, I'll call her later. My goal is to live on a farm and mind my business. Garden and travel and make content and make art. That's all I want to do. Really. And like perform, go on little tours every now and then, you know, and see you guys. Because I'm a singer. I'm not gonna sing right now because my voice is tore up. But I might post something of me like singing a little bit. But my voice has gotten a lot better over the years. So anything old that I post, it's not going to be my true potential. But that's the thing. The only thing I have been insecure about has always been my voice, right? My voice is good. It's not that. It's more so that I've always felt like I needed my voice to be on a like Cynthia Erivo level for me to ever feel comfortable making anything, because I hold myself to such a high standard. And it's more so about I understand now that I need to make art because my voice is unique and my story is unique, because my experience is unique to me. That's why we all should be making art in some form or fashion. And art is whatever you want it to be. So we just need to be putting out more of ourselves, whatever that is, and that will help us to find our people. And that's another reason why I know I needed to make this video, because I want to make this for the moms out there that are struggling, that feel like they don't know what they're going to do, that are feeling like overwhelmed, overstimulated, just stressed out, girl, you're going to make it. And this time right now, this distraction, this is your time to just be with your babies, to just try to be present and listen. That's when the Most High talks to you, is when you just decide to surrender and to just sit and just listen. And to also make sure that you're having healthy boundaries and establishing healthy boundaries with your kids, especially your sons. Okay, don't be playing around. And so, yeah. So that's basically what's been going on. Malachi's 15 now. He's getting ready to go to high school. He's done very well. He's going to still have his IEP going into high school. Han is going to be turning 4 next month. I mean, yeah, next month. I keep thinking it's June. We're almost there. His birthday's in June. And Ronan is a year and a half. And, so that's what I was going to get into. So their dad, I don't talk to him. When I initially had both of them with him, yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. There were times where I'm sure that the people around me felt like I was prioritizing him, because I would help him, because I thought helping him would help me, because I felt like, okay, if I get him stable, then when I need a break and I need him to babysit the boys, I make sure he has a job and he has somewhere to live, and I give him a ride because he needs somebody consistent. I always have access to a car. Okay, my whole life. I'm abundant, y'all. I used to think that my life was terrible. I want to make this quick sidebar. I used to feel really bad about my life. I used to feel like I live with my parents. I don't have a job. I feel stuck. I feel like I can't get out of here. I feel overwhelmed, yada, yada, yada. And then I flipped it and I realized, wait a minute, I could be out on the street. I have somewhere to live and my bills are paid. Hallelujah. Okay, I have a cell phone. I have access to a hotspot. Very spoiled. Okay, I have the ability to get food stamps so I can get food. Okay, so my children and I can eat. I have the ability to get diapers and wipes for free because I signed up for the diaper train. Okay, God bless them ladies. Okay, I have access to clean water, fresh air. I'm able to take my children to the park. I'm able to take my children outside to play in the backyard because we got a backyard with a fence. Okay? Like, I had to pivot and realize I'm extremely abundant already. And that if I'm still in this particular environment that I know I'm not aligned with, is because it's showing me why I'm not aligned with it. And it's letting me know where I need to go next, right? It's helping me to fine tune who I really am. And sometimes you need friction, you need, when they go to find diamonds, right? They have to go rub off the dirt to go find, and they also got to go find them. They got to go search for them. And so sometimes we have to go searching for the diamond inside of ourselves, but we got to get past all the dirt that we let pile up around us, from all the negativity, from all of the self-doubt, from all of the voices from other people telling us that we were not that. And then all the pressure that put on us. It made us diamonds. Do you hear me? Okay, so now it's time to shed all that stuff and be the diamond you are and shine. Shine your light, babe. Okay, so when it comes to him, I'm not about to, I told him from the beginning, I said, look, I don't necessarily need anything from you monetarily because I had a plan. I had planned to stay at Walmart, work there part-time, get my tiny house, and then I was going to do content and like be a travel vlogger, mommy with my child and with my children. And I didn't even know Han had autism at the time, but that was going to be able to add to the story. You know what I mean? That he's on the spectrum and the ways that I'm able to cope with that, him being with us being on the road, and like how his therapy is going, and that, you know what I'm saying? How we're able to travel and still do his therapy and things like that, and how our life would have been. That was my goal. I didn't know that I was going to have to quit and that would change everything. And so that put me in severe survival mode. Okay, y'all. So I started doing things because I was like, I need him. and I was really trying to use him. I genuinely was not trying to be with him because I loved him. And a lot of us do that. We end up putting ourselves in situations because it's not that, oh, I really love you and want to be with you. It's, no, I see you as help. And so I want you to help me. So I'm willing to deal with whatever so you can help me. No. I have standards now. I have standards, y'all. I've always had standards. I don't want to say I have standards now. But like, it's more so I have standards in the terms of I'm not going to settle because I wanted help. I'm going to help myself. And I'm going to also trust that the Most High is going to help me when they see me putting in the work, taking action by posting and putting myself out there and being honest and being transparent about how I want to create a new world for us all by consciously parenting my children. And so that means if I feel like their dad is not aligned with the way that I'm trying to raise them, he can go. Like, and yes, you're blocked. And no, I'm not going to unblock you. And in this particular instance, I actually, I made it so that he would want to block me. So I hadn't bothered with him at all when it comes to online. I don't really pay much attention to him, but my God told me to go check his Facebook. So I go check his Facebook and it says that he's in a relationship. Now, the last time I saw him was in August. We did mess around. And then after we messed around, the baby, he tried to hold Ronan, and Ronan was not into him. And so I was like, oh, no. I'm never going to see you again. And I didn't see him again after that. And I told him, I was like, look, I feel like, we're just not on the same page. You don't really seem like you're trying to do anything. And he was like, and we messed around. And he was just like, oh, it was just messing around. Like, I don't understand why you're making a big deal of that. I was like, no. The text messages that he was sending me before that were like, he only wants what was made for him. And he was really sweet talking me into sleeping with him. I didn't want to, really. Or I was trying not to because I didn't want to get pregnant again. I didn't want to even take the risk at this point. I was like, nah, I've learned my lesson. Because having two of them this young is enough. It really is. I won't say it's too much, but it's enough to have two kids this young and one of them be on the spectrum. It's enough. I'm good. And it will be easier when I'm in an environment that I can control. And it has gotten way better recently, I will say, because I promise you, I've just been more loving and kind to my parents because I'm giving them grace because they are doing the best they can under the circumstances. I was frustrated with them because they've had an opportunity that we wouldn't even be in this situation. But I get now that like they can't really help that. So I'm not going to keep trying to beat a dead horse. Anyway. Hold on. Hey, buddy.